I just had to get the word out, you know what I'm saying? But this is Mike Sennett First, live on 12 Ounce Sports and all kind of good stuff on Friday, June 19th, 2020. We are talking all sports. You know how it is, what it do, what it be. I'm your host, Michael Carvelis, per usual, as always, the founder. Okay. Top 5 scorers in NBA history, according to Mike. The MLB players versus Rob Manfred. Is Rob Manfred really dumb or Chase Briscoe is the future of NASCAR. Kyrie Irving versus the NBA. I have an interesting take that might surprise you, especially coming from me. COVID-19 helmets and rings. Boy, that is something. If you haven't seen it yet, don't worry, I've got you covered. And division headlines. Starting with this week, we'll do NFC North. But first, a word from DrinkAid. Do not go anywhere. I'm going to have fun with this one. We'll be right back.
DrinkAid, ready for distribution worldwide.
That's right. Eliminate hangovers with DrinkAid. Go to 12onsports.com and check us out. 12onsportsnetwork.com. But this is 12 on Sports. Before we get into it and show you guys my top 5 NBA scorers list of all time, don't forget to catch the Best of Mike on channel 761 on Zingo TV. It's a great app. I have personally downloaded it. I actually like it a lot. When you sign up, use promo code 12 on. That's 12OZ, all caps, no spaces. And now it's time for the moment you've been waiting for. Another according to Mike. Bingo! Top 5 scores in NBA history. Now, before I go into this and receive the hates, here's what I got to say, okay? First of all, there are some great names I'm sure I left out. Secondly, I was very unbiased in this, and I'll explain to you as I go through the list. And third, the criteria and the formula for this is longevity helped. It definitely was a big thing. I didn't just say, if you played for 5 games and you were great, that doesn't mean anything. But these guys basically had it all, okay? So I want to get to my honorable mentions first. My honorable mentions, Allen Iverson is one of them. Allen Iverson, me and my buddy Ian McQuiston were talking about this earlier. Allen Iverson is possibly the best pound-for-pound scorer in NBA history. Great as that sounds, and as great as he was, let me be clear, he was like 6 feet or 6'1". So I love the fact Iverson was so talented. He crossed up Michael Jordan in his rookie year. He was an incredible player. But being 6 feet, best pound for pound is great. But, I'm not saying you have to be 6'4" to make my list. But, it would definitely have helped Allen Iverson. But he was still a great player. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, obviously the scoring mark. I do want to say this about Kareem, though, that I kind of disqualified him from my top 5 for one reason. He played for so long. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because as you saw in my top 10 greatest players of all time, I believe that was a huge factor. But in terms of most talented scorers, it cannot just be about longevity. You have to take into talent and their versatility. Kobe Bryant. Now, Kobe Bryant, this will be a big thing. I know that a lot of people love Kobe Bryant. I'm a Dwayne Wade guy. I think Kobe was better than Dwayne Wade. I think Michael Jordan's better than Kobe. I think you can only have one MJ or one Kobe or one Dwayne Wade in the top 5. I'm not sure if Kobe's the one to be in there, especially with the names I have. And Dirk Nowitzki. Man scored 30,000 points in his career. Much like Kareem, he had basically one shot, the post fadeaway kicking out, which is a great move, by the way. And it creates separation without causing a foul for yourself. Dirk scoring 30,000 points, and then, of course, he had the chip, which justifies what he was able to do. That being said, here's my top 5, explaining them 5 to 1. Number 5, Larry Bird. That's where I say it. Why Larry Bird in the top 5? Well, his jump shot was insane. His layups were otherworldly. And, of course, he was in the NBA for a while. Now, I do believe Larry Bird gets more hype because he's white. And as a white guy, I feel like I can say that. I'm not saying Larry Bird was not exceptional because obviously he made my top 5. But Larry Bird, had he been, of darker skin complexion, I don't know. Again, I know it's a fine line to walk, but personally, I feel like Larry Bird gets more hype than what he's due. But he's still, of course, a great player. Number 4, LeBron James. Now, first of all, why so high? Second of all, why so low? Why is LeBron in my top 5 as a pure scorer? Well, remember LeBron James averaged 20-plus points per game for his first few seasons, and he didn't even have a consistent jumper. Like, there comes a time when you have to realize that this guy drives to the rim at will. From the dribble, just drives to the rim at will. Then he started adding the mid-range, which got really good consistency. Added the post game. Now he's shooting threes, not Damian Lillard and Steph Curry range, but he's still unbelievable. Why so low? Because his jump shot still is not the best in the world. It's very good. It's better than a lot of guys, and it contributes to him being my best player of all time. But it's not the top 3 guys. Number 3, Stephen Curry. It's weird putting a guy on here who I've said for years throws up trick shots and is very careless with the ball. But make no mistake, Steph Curry in terms of pure talent is insane. This man, if he had not done what he's done, LeBron would have been number 3. Why? Steph Curry has literally changed the NBA, the way they play three-pointers. Like, it's unreal what this guy's being able to do. Yeah, he couldn't win it by himself, but he changed the game. He makes trick shots from the logo, actual in-game shots, and that's unreal. I think Damian Lillard has been doing it better. There's stats to back that up. But Steph Curry, the one who started it all. I'm sorry. Again, he's short like Allen Iverson, but AI was not throwing up threes from half courts. Okay? I believe Steph Curry is an incredible player. I do not have a lot of respect for his game as others would, but I've come around to the fact that he changed the game, and that has to be said for something. Number 2, Michael Jordan. Now, why is Michael Jordan? I've always said Michael Jordan, because he was the first guy that could really dunk, like, consistently, because he was the first guy during the media that was just the face of the NBA. He gets a lot of credit, and people gloss over his downfalls. That being said, the man averaged 30 points per game, and nobody's done that besides Wilt Chamberlain. Michael Jordan, his jump shot from the outside was not broken. I do wish he would have shot threes because it would have made a much more compelling argument. But Michael Jordan is still up there as the second best scorer of all time. And number 1, take all the guys I mentioned and throw them in one player, okay? Kevin Durant, I don't believe is the strongest driver of the basketball, but he's 7 foot with a pull-up. He's not hitting half-court shots, but he's hitting threes at a regular rate. His free throws are incredible. His overall scoring is insane. Now, there is one guy I left off this list that I have to see more from, but I do believe he's going up all-time list as we speak. The beard, James Harden. James Harden is putting on scoring clinics that obviously we haven't seen before, or that we haven't seen in a long time. James Harden is revolutionizing the step back. Whether or not he creates his own rules for it, that's up to you guys. But James Harden has been insane. I don't believe he's on my all-time list just yet, but he could crack the top 5 by the time it's all over. A championship would help that. Not saying it would be the reason, but it would definitely help if he could break through and, not have 10 turnover games in the playoffs. But this season, I believe Rockets could be great. But again, there's my top 5. Kevin Durant, Michael Jordan, Steph Curry, LeBron James, and Larry Bird. Honorable mentions, Dirk Nowitzki, Kobe Bryant, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Allen Iverson. I'm going to take a quick break. When I come back, I'm going to talk about MLB again. They cannot stay out of their own way, but is Rob Manfred all there is to blame? I'll leave it at that. We'll be right back. This is Mike Said It First on 12 Ounce Sports. SportsNetwork.com/weight loss has you covered. Check that out now. Get your own professional trainer for just $2.99. So Major League Baseball has quite the dilemma going on. While the NBA seems to have kind of gotten things under control, I'll talk about that in just a little bit. While the NFL has not been affected, those dirty punks, while the NHL has been very good about negotiations. NASCAR has come back, you name it, but this little stupid league, this Major League Baseball, which makes me hate baseball more by the day, just cannot stay out of its own way. So the big story is, Rob Manfred, the commissioner of Major League Baseball, this guy says about a week or two ago, there's a 100% chance we're going to play. Then he walks it back saying there's not a 100% chance. Now, that's not what I'm getting into. I'm getting into the outlash on Twitter from the players and their fans. Okay, I understand, first of all, what I'm about to say is not a popular opinion. But let's be clear. These leagues are players' leagues. And I understand there's no Rob Manfred fans on Twitter. There's not much Roger Goodell fans. There's not much more of Adam Silver fans. There are players fans on Twitter and team fans, okay? So I know I'm about to take a lot of heat. But Max Scherzer and all these other superstars in Major League Baseball tweeted out, tell us when and where. Tell us when and where. Tell us when and where, and we'll play. So let me get this straight. Well, I understand they want to play. According to what I've heard and seen, they're demanding a lot of money for a 50-game season. Or 75, whichever happens, if anything happens at all. I do not believe the Major League Baseball season will be played unless something magical happens in the next week or so. There's no way baseball is going to go into the winter and then just go. I think they're going to skip this season. I really do. But I'm tired of hearing the outlash for Rob Manfred. Am I a fan of his? No. I've been on record on this show by telling the fans out there that Rob Manfred has ruined Major League Baseball for me. But I will defend him to the grave right here. These same players that say, tell us when and where, want their money. 162 games in a season, they want prorated money. That's not fair. That is not fair. I'm not saying Major League Baseball is perfect. I'm saying Rob Manfred is not an idiot. What I am saying is these players are talking a lot of smack for some greedy individuals. I'm talking to you, Bryce Harper, on how much millions of dollars you make. I'm talking to you, Manny Machado. I don't understand how dumb you can be. Tell us when and where. Stop it. There's been countless negotiations throughout this whole process, and these players are expected to take less money, but they won't. Owners might be being greedy. But players are being greedy too. Both can be true. I don't believe there will be baseball this season. I will be shocked if there is. Something magical would have to happen. The players or Rob Manfred would have to take a back seat, and I don't think either one of them will. I think they're a bunch of idiot rednecks playing baseball. I think a lot of baseball players are greedy. I think they're jerks. They also are steroid users and glorify that. As for Major League Baseball, Rob Manfred is not the brightest individual. They have no idea how to market. I understand all of that. One of them has to take a back seat. I don't think anyone will. I'm sorry. That's just the way it seems to me. Speaking of unpopular sports, okay, granted, I'm a huge fan of NASCAR. I always have been, kind of biased. But I had mentioned before that Sabrina Ionescu is the future of the WNBA. Now, rest in peace, Gianna Bryant. I'm so excited for Sabrina Ionescu. Chase Briscoe, on the other hand, in NASCAR, is the future of NASCAR. Now, why? I'm glad you asked. I have been watching NASCAR during this virus more than I have in the past 5 years. I know I said I'm a big fan. Haven't kept up a lot in the last 3 to 5 years. But that's changing because of Chase Briscoe is jumping out of my screen. Before you say, well, NASCAR is just a sport where they drive left, try driving with 39 other guys, 39 other people, and going 180 miles an hour and not getting wrecks or not getting bored or not getting uncomfortable. You can't do it. I haven't seen a gigantic NASCAR driver. Fattest guy I've seen is Tony Stewart. Okay? They are athletics. I don't care if you're not entertained by it, they are athletes. And that, I'm sorry. It takes a little bit of talent to be able to drive the way they drive. It takes a lot of attention. It takes a lot of stamina. Okay? Let's get that out the way. That being said, Chase Briscoe, the first race I really saw him was at Darlington. It was like on a Wednesday or a Thursday. I was home from work. And they were racing in what is called the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Chase Briscoe, he's had like a death in his family that week, and I didn't know the full story. I still don't. Chase Briscoe is racing Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is barreling down on Chase Briscoe for the last 10 or so laps. If you don't know who Kyle Busch is, he drives an M&M's car, but in the Xfinity Series and Truck Series, he dominates. Every time Kyle Busch steps onto a track, he wins in something lower than Cup. People have wondered why Kyle Busch is allowed to race in the so-called Youngster Series with the Xfinity Series or the Truck Series. Chase Briscoe made him look like a fool. Kyle Busch tried to run up on Chase Briscoe, almost put him in the wall. Briscoe hits the wall and somehow speeds around Kyle Busch. And again, the guy's young, dealing with tragedy. Not saying that affected his racing. It was unreal what this young guy did to a guy who does not lose on inferior leagues. It's insane what Chase Briscoe was able to do. Then I watched Chase Briscoe at I believe they're Atlanta or something like that. I know it was a speedway. I think it was Atlanta. Chase Briscoe, although he does hit the wall late, Chase Briscoe gets they do like 2 or 3 different restarts because of crashes that happened before the white flag is taken. Chase Briscoe rallies, although his pit team put him in first place, he rallies, and all 3 times he does not budge and he pulls away. If ever a NASCAR driver was clutch, it's Chase Briscoe. I'm a Jeff Gordon fan. I appreciate guys like Dale Earnhardt Sr. I couldn't stand Jimmy Johnson, but he finally ended up proving me wrong. I don't like Kevin Harvick's personality. But I know clutch when I see it in driving. NASCAR is probably the first sport I ever watched. I believe Chase Briscoe is the future of NASCAR. I'm not saying I'm the face of NASCAR. I'm not saying he'll ever be as big as certain guys, or even Danica Patrick for that matter. But Chase Briscoe's going to win a lot in the Cup Series, and I cannot wait. It's something that I've kind of had to watch during quarantine and the coronavirus. It's been impressive watching this young guy race. It really is. I think he's related to Ryan Briscoe and Nicole Briscoe. Not sure. I'll have to look that up. Should have done my research, but I didn't. Okay, when I come back, Kyrie versus the NBA, a strong take I did not see myself coming to. COVID-19 rings and helmets. NFC North headlines. Stick around. This is Mike's to the first. First, a word for Lexington Law.
Nothing makes us happier at Lexington Law than when our clients cancel our services. Listen to this client call and see what we mean.
Lexington Law Firm, this is Erin.
I would like to cancel my account.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, don't be. Actually, you guys have done tremendous work for me, and I was working with you for several years now. And my goal was to get a mortgage written by the end of this year, and I just got that mortgage commitment.
That is wonderful.
My credit went from like 440 working with you guys to 700.
Nice.
And I got a very good 4.25% 30-year fixed rate mortgage. I have nothing at all bad to say. If you ever want me to write a testimonial, well, I will. As a matter of fact, I've recommended you to a lot of friends.
Lexington Law has served over 500,000 clients, taking expert action on their credit that has led to the removal of millions of questionable negative items from their credit reports. Call now and learn more about how Lexington Law may be able to help you in the removal of negative items from your credit report, such as collections, late payments, charge-offs, and many others. Call Lexington Law today.
Got about 20-ish minutes left on the show. This is Mike City First, live on 12 on Sports, Zingo TV, you name it, we got it. So, before I get started on this topic, don't forget to go to mybookie.ag. That's mybookie.ag. It's a worldwide sports betting platform. When you sign up, enter promo code 12 on Sports. That's 12OZ Sports. In all caps, no spaces. It's some pretty interesting stuff on there. I know a guy at my job has won $2,000 after like a $50 deposit. Speaking of that first deposit, if you enter that promo code, it not only helps out the station like with folks like me who are trying to make a living, it helps out you because your first deposit matched up to $1,000. It's really interesting to see that stuff going up. Mybookie.ag. mybookie.ag. It's funny because a week ago from tonight, I had a topic called Kyrie versus NBA fans. Well, goodness gracious, this thing is taking a mind of its own, and I'm about to say something I didn't think I'd ever say before because it's getting to my head, and I don't know how else to explain it. So first of all, Kyrie Irving, if you haven't heard, is a flat earther and an idiot. He believes he can cause more change by not being on national television instead by protesting, which makes absolutely no sense in the world. Even Colin Kaepernick did not take that route, but Kyrie Irving thinks it's cool to take this route. He's led a coalition of NBA players with Avery Bradley for what that's worth, basically saying the NBA shouldn't have a season because of the Black Lives Matter stuff. And I'm like, come on, dude. My opinions do not matter, though. What does matter is how big this moron has gotten this stuff to take. How big of an animal this has become. I am scared right now that we could not see the conclusion of this season because of this idiot. It is unbelievable what this clown is doing. We have waited for 4+ months to resume what should have been. We understand Black Lives Matter. We understand that. It's not up for debate. I'm not here to talk politics. Sports. In Adam Silver's words, he has said the NBA feels obligated to come back and to distract people and help them get through tough times. But the moron on the top of this graphic has other plans. It makes no sense. I get what you're saying, but you are part of the wrong league if you want to just break off and say, screw it. That's unreal. I think Dwight Howard has joined in on it. I think, was it Steven Jackson? I don't know. It's unreal what has happened with this little coalition of players. I hate that. I am not saying that I should be entertained in place of World Matters. I understand that's foolish to say. But there's a lot of us out there who would like a distraction, like Adam Silver said. There's a lot of us out here that want to see this thing conclude. And I'm darned if I'm going to let Kyrie Irving, who thinks the earth is flat, who ruins team chemistry everywhere he goes, I'll be darned if I'm going to let him ruin it. But I'm scared it's going to be canceled. We built this up, then we heard July 31st, and this cat has a different plan. After all the time we waited. I cannot explain my frustration with people who interfere with my hobbies. I have long been a fan of sports. I'm the only sports fan in my family on either side of the family. Nobody cares for sports except for me. I have 20 plus people that I know. And I don't even know if that's an accurate number. But Kyrie Irving is like my mother. And not saying my mom's a bad person, but I would be playing my game, my NBA 2K, like when your mom tells you to do the dishes. Yeah, the dishes are important. But let me finish, please. Like, and I'm not comparing Black Lives Matter to doing the dishes. I'm saying that's how frustrated it makes me feel. Like, yes, it's important. But can we at least have some free time for once? Like, my entire social media page does not have to be blacked out. It doesn't have to say Black Lives Matter. It's not going to change anybody's mind. Kyrie being on national television protesting would do more than if he walks down the streets and blocks the highway. Stop it. It's unbelievable. And if this guy if this happens and the season is canceled, I may not watch the NBA again. Because it'll be peer pressure. Again, it's important. But can we take a break for 2 months? Please? Can we please have a moment of peace in this blasted world that we live in? You can do what you need to do, but do not affect the millions who want this thing to work. When I come back to Mike Said It First, I'll talk COVID-19 rings and helmets. That is quite the lighter topic to talk about here. And also NFC North headlines. I'll get to my division headlines for the first week. We'll talk Bears, Packers, Vikings, Lions. Let's make a story. What's my prediction for that division? But first, a word from lacrosse. This is Mike Said It First on 12 Ounce Sports.
That's what's needed to get to that next level. I'm Rob Pennell, and I'm going to teach you how to be an offensive machine.
Okay, so this is like kind of switching gears because I know I just went off on Kyrie. that will probably be on the Best of Mike. But this is your COVID-19 helmets and rings. Okay, so let me explain what you see in front of you. I don't know if the NFL was actually considering this, but I think the stadium would know a little bit of what they're talking about. I've heard it was debunked, but then people are still talking about it. SportsCenter Snapchat is still talking about this helmet. So this helmet is supposedly to keep these players safe. Now, I'll give them credit. This looks low-key kind of cool. I'm not sure about, and it even has a cool name, the COVID-19 series helmet. I don't know how true that is, but I thought it was a fun little thing to talk about. As for the NBA, this is actually a thing. Players will have the option to wear these rings that apparently, will detect COVID-19 signs and flu-like symptoms up to 3 days in advance with a 90% accuracy. I think it's pretty cool. But why can't the doctors get it? Well, I mean, if doctors have $300 to spend per employee, go ahead and get one. They don't. It's the way the sad world works. Again, this stadium thing definitely got a lot of clicks. I know I clicked on it. That was impressive. Cool design. But obviously, that's not going to happen. Again, I keep saying, the NFL somehow avoided this dang virus. It couldn't have been the NBA. It had to have been the NFL, right? NFL got to avoid it. Those player rings, listen, the Green Lantern and Halo have entered the chat, right? Okay, so let's get to our show recap, and then we'll talk division headlines in the NFC North. We've got about 10-ish minutes left. Here's our show recap presented by Zingo TV. If you missed an awesome topic, I'll be sure to have you covered. I'll rewatch the show, see what I think will captivate you. But in order to see it, you have to go to Zingo TV, channel 761 on the free app. Enter promo code 12ounce. It's 12, capital O, capital Z. And you'll see me, and I'll tweet it out. You guys know the deal. Here's our show recap, though. Before we get to our final topic, NBA history, my top 5 scorers. Bingo! Kevin Durant, Michael Jordan, Steph Curry, LeBron James, Larry Bird. Honorable mentions, Dirk Nowitzki, Kobe Bryant, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Allen Iverson. James Harden has a chance to crack the top 5 before his career's over. We'll have to see. Players versus Manfred. I thought it was funny that all these players said, tell us when and where. They also want their full salary, which makes absolutely no sense. And I do not like Rob Manfred, but I will not let the players get away with shaming him like that on social media, where there's no fans of any commissioners. Like, let's be real. Chase Briscoe's the future of NASCAR. He's clutch if I've ever seen a clutch driver. He beat Kyle Busch in a great race, then held off drivers on an overtime restart. That was really fun. Cannot wait to see him in the Cup. Kyrie versus the NBA might be my best of Mike thing. And if you haven't seen these COVID-19 rings and helmets, again, here you are. You're welcome. I don't think the NFL helmet's a thing. I think it was pretty funny. But there's your Green Lantern. I mean, your COVID-19 ring NBA players can use. Okay, here's my division headlines. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do the next few weeks, probably then was it 8 weeks on Mike Said It First, we're going to talk about division headlines. I know I've already made my season predictions. I'll make another one before the season starts after preseason, if there is one. But we're starting with the NFC North. Next week will be the NFC South. Packers, let's talk them first. I believe the story is Aaron Rodgers versus Jordan Love. The relationship Aaron Rodgers has with his head coach and with the Packers organization. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers has been on record saying it was kind of a blow. You know, he wasn't expecting it. But Jordan Love's in the rearview mirror. Whether he's far away on the interstate or he's right behind him on a 35-mile-per-hour curve, you know, I mean, he's right. He's there, okay? Objects in the mirror are closer than they appear, is what I'm getting at here. But I'm interested to see if Aaron Rodgers' age will have a factor. I want to see if the Smith guys, Zadarius and his buddy, can make things happen up front. I'm curious to see if Aaron Jones can play well. And again, can Devontae Adams stay healthy? Allen Lazard, will he break through? But the main thing is Aaron Rodgers versus Jordan Love. Again, objects in the mirror are closer than they appear. Chicago Bears, Mitchell Trubisky versus Nick Foles. I personally believe Trubisky can beat him out. Nick Foles gets hot, and when he's cold, he's not very good. But Trubisky, this is his job to lose. It'll be interesting if the Bears start struggling thanks to Matt Nagy, excuse me. It'll be interesting to see if they switch to Nick Foles, and I have a feeling that the team would lose as well if that was happening. I don't think Nick Foles is the answer. I don't think Matt Nagy's the answer is my thing. The Detroit Lions, I believe it's the future of Matt Patricia. We know Matthew Stafford has got like probably 5 more years left and like 3 good ones, if that. We know the team has had injuries at running back, but now they got Kerryon Johnson. They have another guy as well. I forgot. They've got Marvin Jones, Kenny Golladay. I mean, Matt Patricia it's on ice right now. You know, can Matt Patricia show it how he did in year 1 when he beat Bill Belichick? Not sure. We'll have to see how the season plays out. And the GM as well. Vikings, have they already peaked? Is that possible? Interesting. I believe Kirk Cousins is above average. I mean, he's a good quarterback. I just don't know if it's a thing, if they're going to win a Super Bowl anytime soon. Listen, their head coach is really good. I don't know why I'm forgetting half these people's names right now, but really good head coach. Defensive-minded head coach, actually. Dalvin Cook might hold out. Experts think he won't. He might, though. We'll have to see. They got rid of Stephon Diggs to go to Buffalo, and now they got Adam Thielen and some other guys on the team, bunch of young tight ends. We'll see what the team does. My opinion is that the Packers will win this division with like 2 or 3 games to go in the season. It's going to be close, though. I believe Bears will be about 7-9-ish, maybe 8-8. I would wish Trubisky would take a step up. If he doesn't, we'll see. Detroit Lions, I believe, will not be very good. Lions fans will tell you otherwise, but I'm sorry. This is how it is. But no, NFC North is going to be an interesting division. It might be the worst division in football, if you ask me. Topic for another day. Packers should win, but again, interesting storylines here. The Packers overcome that stuff. When I come back from another commercial break, our final commercial break, give you a preview of next week, a new According to Mike list. Ooh. Ew. We'll be right back. But first, a word from Traverse Bay Farms.
For the marching exercise, you want to sit down in the center front of your chair, bring your feet shoulder width apart, and form a 90-degree angle with your knees. From here, you're going to lift one foot and raise the opposite arm, just as you march in place in your chair. Make sure you keep that core nice and tight and you breathe into it, and also maintain good posture with a straight back.
Drinkade, ready for distribution worldwide.
All right, I hope you guys got your workout in, because I know I did, both vocally and in my chair. Hey, she's good at what she does, and she may look good as well. That's none of my business. Next Friday, a brand new According to Mike, top 5 current NFL quarterbacks, and no, Tom Brady and Drew Brees are not. Well, they're not on the list. Sorry, I had to look at that real quick to make sure. Sorry, boys. Moving forward, who would I take? I'm excited to see that. I know you guys are too. I'll do some modifications to make sure I got everything right, and if I'm convicted, if I'm firm in my convictions. Do not forget to catch, again, on Zingo TV, channel 761, the best of Mike. I'm trying to get a consistent schedule with this. We'll have to see. I believe my best topic tonight might be Kyrie versus the NBA. I went off on Kyrie. It's what I do. But no, we had a fun one. Promo code 12ounce. That's 12OZ. Also, mybookie.ag is really fun. It's mybookie.ag. Promo code 12ounce sports 12OZ sports for to match your deposit up to $1,000. I've seen people have success in the app. Hey, why not? It also helps out the station as well. Don't forget as well, go to the 12ounce sports shop and check out some stuff we got going on. I like the shop. I haven't ordered anything. Hypocrisy, right? No, we'll be all right, though. Don't forget to follow the show on Twitter. That's Podcast Carvelis. Podcast Karvelis. And 12ounce Sports has got a lot of things coming. I cannot wait, personally. But I know there's some big things coming. I know a lot of you guys will enjoy it. I know I may have a new show layout in the next coming weeks, depending on how stuff works out. I'm kind of getting tired of the black screen. So maybe, we'll see. But hey, it's been fun. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, top 5 scores NBA history. Here you are. KD, MJ, Steph, LeBron, Bird, Dirk, Kobe, Kareem, AI get honorable mentions. But yeah, you guys have a good night. I don't want to drone on anymore. Just want to make sure my stuff is out the window here. It's been fun. It's been real. It's been legit. Have a good one. Good night.
Drinkade, ready for distribution worldwide.